Well, we've all heard the stories about police raids of unlicensed personal care homes, but who are the victims and just how bad are those homes?
Well, our Fox 5 I-Team senior reporter Dale Russell went inside one of those homes and had a very rare talk with the men who lived in what their lawyer calls essentially a dungeon.
That's what he said, Sine, and it was really unusual to see this firsthand. For Georgians who are physically or mentally disabled, a personal care home can be a lifesaver. That's because the state regulates these homes that provide food and shelter for one or more people. But we investigated what it can be if that home is unlicensed and uninspected.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, roll 'em.
Robert Bacon can't tell you exactly where or how he lived, but he does remember this. What did it smell like?
Not too good.
It was dangerous down there.
Joe Wilson has a better memory, and he will never forget what he hated most about his and Robert's home: rats.
They crawled all in the ceiling, they crawled on the floor, they was under the bed, they ran across the table, the sink, and they was everywhere.
How big were they?
They were big, about that big, grown rats.
Joe Wilson, Robert Bacon, and Travis McCargo all have mental disabilities and all ended up living in the basement of this unlicensed personal care home on Windy Hill Road. Earlier this year, a Cobb County grand jury indicted Helen Bell, the operator of the unlicensed personal care home, and her daughter, Sheila Hawkins, on charges of neglect and abuse of a disabled person.
You lacing them up and tying them up?
But when Travis McCargo's family found out how he was living, they hired a lawyer.
And it became a nightmare. It was essentially a dungeon.
Jason Crawford says his investigation found the 3 men were kept in the tiny basement of the home in what he calls squalid conditions.
It was dark, it was dank. In the wintertime it was freezing. In the summertime it was hot. There were rats, there was garbage, it stunk. It was extremely depressing.
Could it be that bad? The house was sold, and the new tenants let us see for ourselves where these men lived. The first thing you notice when you come into this basement is the dank smell. The beds and furniture have been removed. We found stained and peeling concrete floors, tiny bedrooms with makeshift walls, not much bigger than the bed, exposed ceilings, no more than 7 feet high, and we are told no air conditioning in the summer, no heat in the winter.
It felt like rain, it felt like the cold wind, air was in the basement, like below zero temperature. It's shivering, you be shivering under the cover.
Do you ever remember being cold?
Lord, yeah, I had to cover up. I had to cover up.
You had to cover up? This was their toilet. No doors, wide open. And I'm told it was often broken. And when it was broken, the landlord would give them a bucket.
Yeah, some water to put it into it, let it go down. So we did.
The basement, it smelled like an odor, like a dog, rats, bad smell where you want to cover your nose.
Joe Wilson says Helen Bell mostly fed them bologna and bread 3 times a day, washed down by juice. He says she kept it locked up in a refrigerator in this corner, rationed it throughout the week. Sometimes, he said, the men fought over food.
The meat wasn't lasting a long time because it was Travis hungry and Robert was hungry and I was hungry.
Joe Wilson told us and Cobb County Police that Travis McCargo had a temper. So the personal care home operator, Helen Bell, told him to hit Travis if he acted out.
She said, pop him in the nose, pop him in the nose. And she was telling me to do it and I wouldn't do it. And she was saying, hit him in the nose, hit him in the nose, and I wouldn't do it.
Then, Joe says, Helen Bell gave him a baseball bat.
She said if he want to fight y'all and do something wrong, like pick on y'all, take the bat and hit him with it.
Joe says he and Robert would leave during the day to go to a therapeutic school owned by Helen Bell's daughter, Sheila Hawkins. He says Helen Bell told him to lock Travis McCargo in the basement.
She had him stay in there all day from like morning to the evening.
I have a sister who is a dog lover and she has lots of dogs, 8 or 9 dogs. She treats her dogs far better than Helen Bell treated these men.
Now, Helen Bell's attorney told us that She never claimed she ran a personal care home, but did admit that she cared for these men while she was dealing with her own medical problems. Her daughter, Sheila Hawkins' attorney, said Miss Hawkins had an estranged relationship with her mother, had never stepped foot in the home, and had no reason to know of any abuse. And the criminal case still going on. Russ and
It hurts your heart to think of human beings being treated that way. Where was the money in this for Helen Bell?
The money comes, the men get Social Security disability checks, and it ranges depending on each individual. It can be $700, $800, $900 a month per individual. Normally in a personal care home like this, well, this one though was unlicensed, the money goes to the operator. I mean, the checks go directly to the operator, and then they'll provide for the people. And we've been in homes that are really nice. The one Robert's in now is very nice.
Oh, that's good.
Warm bed, good food, you know, completely different situation.
Yeah, it's just so sad to see such vulnerable people being taken advantage of, though.
We don't get surprised by a lot. We've done this a long time.
Sure.
This was surprising.
Yeah. Dale, thanks.